A very good morning. Today we are going to start with a new chapter 13, The Adventures of Gulliver. The Adventures of Gulliver, chapter number 13. Gulliver Travels is an interesting book written by a well-known English writer, Jonathan Swift. He is a writer in which he described the voyages of Gulliver. Voyages means a long journey by the sea of Gulliver to various lands like Lilliput's and Brobdingnag. Though the character of Gulliver and these strange sounding lands are imaginary, Gulliver's experiences and adventures are written so well that they seem real and true to life. Gulliver, the story tells us, worked as a surgeon on ships. As such, he made several voyages. In May 1699, he sailed on the ship the Antelope. On the return journey in November, a violent storm sank his ship and Gulliver swam to save his life. Late in the evening, he found himself marooned on a strange land. Maroon means to be left alone ashore on this land over there. No one was there. Weak and exhausted. Exhausted means tired. He slept for about 9 hours. It was daylight when he awoke. When he got up from there, it was morning. So, in this chapter, that means it is telling the adventures, the short summary of this chapter, Gulliver. That means, after sleeping for 9 hours, when Gulliver woke up, he found himself alone on the shore, on a lonely place. No one was there. He was in the land of the Lilliputans. What are Lilliputans? They are very small. When we read, I'll let you know what are they. Who were very barely of 6 inches. You know what is 6 inches? In the scale you can see 6 inches tall. They are so small, Lilliputans. They were afraid of a giant's size. They were afraid of seeing this person and had tied him down to the ground with thousands of strings. They have tied this person, this giant Gulliver, with strings on the ground. Gulliver made several attempts to free himself. Trying to understand his helpless situation, he served a giant meal. Here he was trying to understand his helpless situation, but after that these Lilliputans gave him a meal as a giant because he was looking like a giant and they had to give a meal of giant. Later he is taken on a special cart to his new home where he visits the city and the queen. Now we'll read the story, The Adventures of the Gulliver in the Land of Lilliputans. Gulliver meets the Lilliputans. I tried to get up from the ground, but I could not move. Now you can see the picture in your book. Down he is sleeping. Now he tried to get up from the ground, but he could not move. I was lying on my back. I was lying straight. Then I found that my arms, my feet were held down to the ground. Then he saw that his hand and his feet were tied on the ground with the strings. My hair, which was long, was held down in the same way. Even his hair, which was long, was held down. Thousands of strings had been passed across my body. Many strings were passed on his body and he was tied up. so that I could not move any part of me, but could only lie there on my back looking up in the sky. He was telling, I can't move up here or there. I could just see up in the sky. My whole body was tied up. In a little time, I felt something alive moving on my foot. Now, in a while, he thought that he felt something is walking on my foot. Then it came over. See over here the picture. See these small Lilliputans, how they are moving on his body and how they are tying the string. See his hair. See, these Lilliputans are only of 6 inches, not more than that. In a little time, he felt something alive moving on his foot. Then it came over my body and up to my face. Then slowly, something came up to my body and then to the face. Turning my eyes down as much as I could, I saw a man. He was turning his eyes down to see who is there. I saw a man. He saw a man who was climbing on his body. He was not a half foot high. He was not more than a foot. He was only half foot. That means 6 inches. By his dress, he seemed to be a soldier. He thought that this person is a soldier who is climbing upon my body. Then, slowly, there came 40 more Lilliputans, following the first one. 40 more Lilliputans came upon his body, following this one who came first. I was much surprised that I gave a great cry. I got scared and then I gave a great cry. Then they all ran back in a great fear. Then all these 40 of them ran away. Even they got scared. And as I was told later, then these Lilliputans told him what to do. Some of them were hurt in jumping down from my side to the ground. What happened? Some of them, when they were trying to jump from his body down, they got hurt. The next part we'll do tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great day. Till that time, you read the chapter